All right, here we go. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Giant Mess. It's a super sloppy and silly sports and entertainment talk show that covers Giants football, Mets baseball, movies, TV shows, and a whole lot more. It's hosted by Giant Mess. That's me, the Real Cinch Neal Lynch. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about my President's Day weekend in Chatham, New York, very close to the Massachusetts state border, where me and the lady stayed at a place, an Airbnb called the Sugar Shack. So without further ado, let's get started up in here. All right, so last time I got talked to y'all was before Valentine's Day. I believe I relayed what I had given to my lady friend for Valentine's Day. She is a baker. She is a chef, not professionally. She should be, but she's not. She loves to cook. She loves to make food. That's kind of like her love language. Quality time, but also food. So I leaned into that. And I thought, okay, let's do this. So I got her a mold, like a baking mold that was in the shape of letters. Had the entire alphabet, A to Z. And I guess you could pour like the dough, whatever you need to make bakery shit, baked goods, into the letters, spell out stuff. And it was red. So it's like, if you don't like the letters, you don't like the idea, it's red. So at least it's falling in line with the whole Valentine's Day spiel and theme motif, if you will. And I got her heart-shaped cookie cutters, even though I've been told multiple times that ladies, women, females are not huge fans of the heart-shaped gifts. So like heart-shaped necklace, heart-shaped anything. They're just anti that. And in addition, she's not a big Valentine's Day fan, so I can only imagine the thought process that was going on when she received these gifts. And so I got her daughter a huge jar of jelly beans because she's into jelly beans. Although after what happened in the Super Bowl, if you're listening to the last episode, I don't think any of us are into jelly beans after that debacle fiasco. So my lady gave me for Valentine's Day, what else? Some really amazing chocolate chip cookies for moi. And these chocolate chip cookies are not just any kind of chocolate chip cookies. These are modeled after the chocolate chip cookies that are available at one Gideon's Bakehouse in Orlando, Florida, the land of Disney World. I had one, I guess it would be coming up on a year ago, just about last March. I had one. It was part of the gift bag that we had when we went down for our work retreat. I had it after coming back from the bar, nice and sauced, and I had it, and it was fucking amazing. I ate the whole goddamn thing. It was huge. And the thing, just Google it. Gideon's Bakehouse chocolate chip cookies. These things are massive. And they have massive chocolate chips. It's just dominated by chocolate chips. You can barely see the dough. So she did it. She cooked, she baked a bunch, like 5 or 6 in that kind of style, in that vein. I can't even, I think I'm through like 1 or 2. You know, they'll last me a lifetime. And then she made some s'mores bark. Pretty cool for my little one. The little one, I was like, this is a gift from my friend. She made it for you, or she got it for you. I didn't know what it was, but I was like, she got it for you. Let's have a look-see. So she opened it up on Valentine's Day, and she was like, what is this? And I was like, well, there was a s'mores bark. She's like, I don't get it. Like a dog? What? They're not shaped like a dog. They're not shaped like paws, like a dog would have. And then I was just like, yeah, sure. I think I was just so tired because I was also trying to cook. As I mentioned, I'm like getting into Green Chef meal delivery kit where they give you all the ingredients, they give you the recipe, and then you kind of have at it. You know, I've cooked plenty in my lifetime, but I've never cooked well, and so I'm trying to get better because I feel like that's a skill. It's like an essential skill. I should have that by now, right? It's like how to make a drink, which I still can't do, and how to cook, which I'm getting maybe a little bit better at. And so, when I do have my daughter and I'm cooking, like the recipe card says, like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 25 minutes. And it's like 1 hour later, the SpongeBob SquarePants meme, like 1 hour later. And I'm still like trying to like power through the recipe. And while at the same time having my daughter being like, Daddy, look, Daddy, look, Daddy, look, Daddy, look, Daddy, look, Daddy, look. It's like, okay. So she took a bite. She said she liked it. I was like, do you like it? She's like, yeah. And I took a picture of her holding it, smiling it, sent it to my lady, and she loved it. But truth be told, I like to think that I'm an honest person, often brutally, which has been my downfall more than once. And my daughter, no, she didn't have any more after that. So I don't think she's into the bark or the s'mores right now. But if I could cryogenically freeze the bark and then like 30 years later give it to her, I think she might dig it. Because they are delicious. They are great. So all I could have said was no bark as in like, I guess it looks like tree bark. I never really, I mean, I don't even know if that's right. It's called bark because it looks like tree bark. I don't know. So I just said, yeah, sure. It's like, yeah, it's a dog. I was distracted. I couldn't focus trying to make these meals for myself, which I always fuck up at least one step. It's like I'm just reading too fast. The recipe, the instructions, the directions are okay. I think I went cross-eyed after the last one that I had to do because I don't know if they get bored writing these recipes and the directions, but I literally got to the one step that was like, to the bowl of dressing, comma, add kale. And I was like, all right, Yoda, thank you. Thank you, Master Jedi, for providing me with these instructions. So yeah, those were most delicious gifts. And just another example of how amazing the GF is. She also gave me a really amazing card. She does this face. I don't know how, but she can do a wink, but it's not like your traditional like wink, like Will Ferrell in the SNL skit where he's the nude model. Does anyone remember that? So good. But so it's not that kind of like closed eye wink, She's able to blink. It's more of a blink, I guess. Blink one eye so that it looks like it's like a broken doll, like a broken doll's face. You know how a broken doll, like the one eye can be wide open and the other eye, the eyelid like comes down on its own. She can do that. And so she got me this card that I guess it reminded her of the broken doll face, and now I'm looking at it, yeah, it's a broken doll face. So very clever, very thoughtful, very lovely. So Valentine's Day hasn't been great the past couple millennia, but that was a good one. So I'm glad that we didn't decide to just kind of not go through with cards or gifts or anything like that. Even though it's like it's a made up holiday or whatever, meant to generate revenue, income, all that shit. I still wanted it. I felt compelled, but it doesn't rule out the fact that I should probably still try to do something random and spontaneous. That's in the back of my head. I did get a chance to watch Oppenheimer. And because it's now streaming on Peacock, that streaming network that everyone's really pissed at because they asked you for $5 to watch a football game. Meanwhile, it's like $100 to watch the fucking Mets, and you have to be out of market. Anyway, so I watched Oppenheimer on Peacock. It's 3 hours long. It is on the long side. Now, did it feel like 3 hours long? No. So it had that going for it. Cillian Murphy is amazing. This is a movie that felt and looked, had the style of an action movie, but wasn't action. It was in the traditional sense of action movies, where it's like a lot of fighting, explosions, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there was an explosion. There was a big one. But, the way that Nolan handled everything, it was incredible. I cannot imagine that it doesn't win the Oscar for Best Picture. It was the best movie I saw. And I know that's not worth a hill of beans in this crazy life, but yeah, best movie of the year. I am absolutely kicking myself for not seeing it in IMAX because I think that would have been mind blowing. I know at the time I was like, what? Why the fuck would I see this movie? This drama, this character drama, biopic in a huge screen format. Why? And it's like, nope, because the way that um Nolan was able to shoot and portray the way that Cillian Murphy's Oppenheimer was thinking, feeling in that moment, in that scene was incredible. So I can't recommend it enough. I don't know if I'll do a full review. Does anyone like the full reviews? Raise your hand. I don't see any hands. Okay, great. So it's Oppenheimer. That's a big hell yeah for me, dog. Star-studded cast too. Robert Downey Jr. He was amazing. The dude that was in Solo, a Star Wars story, who is the new Han Solo that didn't go so great. Alden Eichenreich. He's in Cocaine Bear too. And Hail Caesar, I think. He was good. You had the dude from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, one half of the Jewish duo, who I think he ended up converting to Christianity in that. He's done some pretty cool shit dramatically since then, and he was pretty killer in this one. Yeah, I mean, just Emily Blunt was incredible. She had an amazing scene towards the end where you really got to see a very powerful, impactful scene. Florence Pugh, you get to see Pugh's boobs. Pew, 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 pew. Pugh's boobs. Yep. Some are saying it was unnecessary, but I think she was like, whatever. And that's what makes Florence Pugh the shit. She don't care. Long hair. She's just like, yeah, people that have sex usually have their clothes off. That includes the brassiere. So she was awesome. As a bitter divorcee, it's tough when I see a guy cheat on his wife all the live long day, and the wife sticks by him. I guess because he is so successful, and it's just this one thing, It's just this one thing, the cheating. That's it. The extracurriculars. That's it. Everything else is awesome. So I guess if I were a super intelligent scientist, theorist who pulled off something as terrifying as he did, it's like, well, yeah, I guess she would stick by me. Anywho, so that was Friday night before I went down up to Chatham, New York, Chatham. President's Day weekend, had that Monday off, and I know that the lady is into quality time, the little QT. My cutie is into QT. And so I was like, let's do a little winter weekend getaway. I haven't had that. I don't know how long. I mean, you factor in the pandemic. You factor in that I'm so painfully single. I was so painfully single for 2 years. I guess 3. No, 2. Yeah, 3 really. Winter weekend getaway. I was like, let's do this. Let's get away. And part of me was like, this is kind of stupid. Like the things that we could do on this winter weekend getaway that we've been talking about, we don't need to drive 3.5 hours up north to have that happen. But I think that's just part of the journey, part of the journey. It's not the destination. So yeah, I drove over to her place on Saturday. Got there about 1. We had she made these amazing. Oh no, we ordered paninis. So I had a fucking righteous eggplant panini that was the bomb. And then we hit the road around 1:30, and long drive, 3.5 hours. But that right there is quality time, right? Little road trip, mini road trip. 3.5 hours. You can't just sit there in silence the whole time, Neil, right? I actually could do that. But get to know each other on the trip up, get to see like, okay, extended time in the car together. What's that going to be like? That's a good little mini test that we passed with flying colors. We got to this Airbnb at 4:00. The Airbnb, which I have mentioned multiple times, is called the Sugar Shack, and it's in a place called Art Park, but it's like, I guess it used to be like a trailer park, mobile home park, and now they've kind of the selling point is that it's upscale now, right? So this is like the big, I guess this is the big movement. I've been talking about it, a couple episodes where we're talking about shipping container homes. Those are really trending. And so this is the other thing that's trending is like, I guess shipping container homes or mobile homes, but like elevated, upscale, blah, 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 blah. So I, rented it for 2 nights, paid way too much money, but that's just what we're in right now. We're in a fucking quagmire of everything being just out of control in terms of money, but it's just money, right? Yeah. So get there around 4:00, and it is a nice place. Is it worth $368 a night? I'm going to say no, but an incredible venue spot, very nice, picture a mobile home, but upscale and elevated. Not physically, like they didn't like put it on cinder blocks, but the interior was beautiful. It was private, right? So there was kind of like the one side has a window, but you can't really see in. You walk in, there's the fridge right there. There's the sink. There's a kind of like a bench. I'm going from right to left. So the bench, I guess, to your immediate right is a closet in the bathroom with a shower. The world's smallest sink, which is very reminiscent of my woman's sink. I can't believe they make sinks this small, but it gives me hope for the future. Because even though the kitchen sink I have is an atrocity currently, this little baby bathroom sink is so goddamn cute and it does the job. So something to keep in mind, if I ever get that house, 15, 20, 30, 45 years from now when I'm on my deathbed. Decent shower. And then there's I think a queen size bed. There's enough room for us. It's not, you can walk on each sides. There's a nightstand on one side. There's like a kind of a desk opposite the bench, so it's just essentially one room, but didn't feel too cramped or small or like we were on top of each other, really. But then, so there's a fence that you have to enter before you get to that. So there's a fence that's got a lock on it. And then on the other side where there's an opening to the rest of the park, there's a fence. So that kind of gives you a sense of security. And then there's kind of a deck, patio, porch area. And then opposite of the actual place where we sleep, there's what the owner calls a she shed, where there was like a mini love seat situation, little coffee table, and like a TV. So, a she shed. Did we make use of it? No, but it was just nice that Noah was there in case, just in case, break glass in case of emergency type situation. But the real key selling point was the hot tub. That and the fact that it was a 2-minute walk to downtown, to the main drag where everything was. We didn't have to get in a fucking car and drive half an hour to get to where we wanted to go. It's like, nope, get dressed, walk down the street, boom, we're there. So the hot tub enclosed, I don't know if that's the right terminology, but on 3 sides of the hot tub, there's walls. So if you're behind on that side, you can't see into the hot tub. And even if you're on the other side, there's just too much in the way to see into the hot tub. So very private, which is great because I know I like that. She likes that. Very private. And, we can get into like virgin sacrifices and cult like shit, all the good stuff. So we got in around 4, we brought way too much food and alcohol, but I'd rather that be the case than like us trying to scrounge and find something on President's Day weekend, which I didn't factor that in. I kind of had a mini panic attack. I was like, wait, is like everything going to be closed this weekend? Because as we're driving into the Sugar Shack, we passed by the pizza place that's supposed to be like a great, good pizza place, has a big ass sign on the front that says best pizza in town. And it says closed Saturday, closed Sunday, and didn't say what was, it said open on Monday, but also it's President's Day. So like there's that really cool thing where you like, you only look for a store or a company's hours on a holiday, and they give you the times on Google, and they're like, may vary due to holiday, and it's like, yeah, no fucking shit. So spoiler alert, we did not go to that Eatzeria, the 66 Eatzeria. Anyway, but that kind of creeped into the back of my skull there. So we get in round 4, and we play a little off topic, the game that I got her for Christmas. You know, a game that, you know, I did entirely way too much research about games for adult couples. I even went so far as to like extend the search to like games for new adult couples who are divorcees and are, you know, and came up with a list that was entirely way too long, but narrowed it down to off topic. Essentially, the way that the game works is you have a timer, like a little fucking clock tower sand thingy. Hourglass? There you go, Neil. Little mini hourglass with sand. Sands of time. Oh, how they slip away. Hourglass. So it's timed. You each get a kind of a whiteboard with, it's got like answer spaces for your answers on the whiteboard. You get like a dry erase marker. And you get cards, stack of cards. So you randomly pull out a card, and it's got all these topics on it, and, or, you know, phrases or sayings or what have you, with little spaces, right? That, or so it's either a topic. It's just like name animals, or it has like spaces or gaps. So like, I want to blank in the blank, right? And then you have a dice. These ain't your pappy's dice, though. This die, as they say, as it were, has every letter of the alphabet on it. So it's not, you know, the cube type situation. It's more like I don't know, not even an octagon. It's got 26 motherfucking sides, dude. I don't even know what you would call that. Now we gotta look it up. I hope you're happy. I didn't want this. What do you call a shape that has 26 sides? Whoa. Okay, so I have 2 different answers here. Holy macaroni. Let's do the first one, because I think that is the accurate one. And then there's another one that's just like, I don't know. You got to be kidding me, dude. A 26-sided shape is called an okay, so they're both in this one sentence. This will be fun. A 26-sided shape is called an icosahexagon. So I recognize hexagon. The rest looks Icelandic or Russian. Icosahexagon. So that's a 26-sided shape. Okay. 26-sided die is also called a rhombicubectahedron. Rhombicubectahedron. Either way, it's like I think I sprained my tongue, dude. So this die has each letter of the alphabet on it, on each side. You roll the die, whatever's facing up, which hard to tell, 26 sides, spoiler. That letter has to be the beginning of the words that you use as your answers, right? So if you pull a Q, you roll a Q, then every single one of your answers has to begin with a Q. So very fun. Lots of laughs, lots of chucks, lots of faws. And it helps to have Prosecco. It helps to have Prosecco on hand. But yeah, we played a bunch of rounds. I think we played for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I mean, it's addictive, you know? And I don't even think we got through many letters. I think we got through I think we did 5 rounds. So 5 different letters. And I believe she pulled it out 3-2. I mean, it's under protest. I definitely appealed to the off-topic Supreme Court. I was like, no, I don't. I think there's some questionable tactics here. So Prosecco, off topic, and then we went to the People's Pub. The People's Pub is on that main street. Let's see if we can pull up a menu here, just to give you a taste of what we're talking about, Broseph. And of course, they don't have a. Why would they have a website? It's 2024. 2024. 2024. I think we started off with some cocks. Started off with some tails. Where's the see. Okay. Great, grand, wonderful. We ended up ordering cocktails. She ordered an old fashioned. I'm pretty sure it was an old fashioned. I ordered some kind of tequila drink that was I didn't know at the time, but it came out, it was pink. Not that I have anything wrong. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Not that I have anything against that. I actually don't mind the color pink. I actually own several things that are pink that I wear and put on my body that some people prefer that I don't put on my body. Where's your freaking menu, People's Pub? Come on, bro. There. Whoa. The search. Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay. The search, the SEO for this thing, not great. Okay. Not great. But I'll take a look at the old dinner here. Okay, yeah. So they have these. I'll get to the cocks and the tails in a little bit. They have these. Again, I can't tell you how Caucasian I am, but I feel like you should be definitely picking up on that because gochujang. We even said how do you pronounce it? They told us, and we still couldn't pronounce it. I still can't pronounce it to this day. Gochujang is how if you were to sound it out, because I'm working with my daughter on sounding it out, and she got pissed at me, and I had to put her in timeout. No big deal. Gochujang meatballs, lime, cilantro, slaw, fresh herbs, peanuts, sweet pepper aioli, crisp on the outside, soft on the inside. So good. I could eat those for the rest of human history. So that was the app. And then for the entree, I got the falafel burger. It's hummus, tzatziki, pickled red onion, and cut fries. A cool $17. And then the pub burger, Wisconsin cheddar, red onion, marmalade, and lettuce on a soft toasted pretzel bun, served with house cut fries. So both of those were pretty yummy. Would you believe that the falafel burger tasted better than the pub burger? Because that was the consensus, as we shared, as couples do. We shared because we care. So that's what went into our stomachs in solid form. I don't know that they're gonna have the cocktails here. Yeah, because this links to the other fucking thing. I want to know the cocktails, dude. The cocktails. Well, that sucks. But yeah, it was a tequila drink, and it was pink. And so she goes to hand the pink drink to my lady, and she goes to hand the old fashioned to me, and we're smiling like, should we tell her? And then she's like, I think she actually came to the table and was like, I'm gonna guess who has what. And she places the drinks down, and we both look at each other like, you're wrong, bitch. But so she's like, oh my God, I'm wrong. Because we then handed each other the drinks, and she goes, oh my God, I can't believe I'm wrong. I'm 0 for 2 on the night. I went out, there was another couple over there, and this one ordered that, and this one ordered that, stereotypically male drink, a stereotypically female drink, and it was the opposite. Oh my God. And then somehow we got in a conversation with her about Spencer's Gifts. Now, when I was in high school, Spencer's Gifts was like my go-to spot for Christmas gifts. When I was in high school, every year, the four of us, me, mi padre, mi madre, mi hermosa, we go to the Quaker Bridge Mall in Lawrence. Beautiful mall. Just beautiful. And we meet kind of in the center, smack dab there in the middle, and we say, hey, it's almost like a game show or competition. It's like, hey, you have 1 hour to pick out your Christmas gifts for the other 3 people in our clan. Clan with a C. Okay? Clan with a C. And then it was like, go. So we go our separate ways, go in different directions, and we go find our Christmas gifts, which is tough because a lot of these stores, they I mean, and it's smart. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do. These businesses have they put the purchased item in the bag, and the bag has their logo on it. So it's like that's going to be tough when we all have to meet back up in the middle, and we're all like, you can blatantly see what everyone's bought because it's on the thing. I think there's like one or two shops that doesn't do that, and so you have to find a way to cram all your gifts into that bag, no matter how petite it might be. So I don't know how we got to this point, but she started talking about how their Spencer's, the gift shop. Now, okay, maybe you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Neal? And also, can you spell Spencer's? No. Spencer's, it's a mall company. Shop Spencer's for the best in fashion, backpacks, decor, gag gifts, adult toys, and more. Okay, was that always the case? I always went there for the first items. Fashion is like, it's an absurd statement to say, but they have like funny graphic tees. I think the actual page title, body jewelry, graphic tees, lava lamps. But then they threw lingerie in there. When did that happen? In high school, in the 90s, mid 90s, it was graphic tees, body jewelry, backpacks, decor, gag gifts, lava lamps, that kind of shit. They got a lot of my money over there at Spencer's in Lawrence. I don't even think it's there anymore. But apparently they sell sex toys. I'd been in there. I'd been there so many times. Never saw any lingerie. Never saw any sex toys. Now, did they have what they call gag gifts that are adult themed? Yeah. And those are the ones I usually bought for my family. Neal, you're a tremendous asshole. Yeah. So she was like, yeah, my girlfriend and I, we were in there and sex toys. And I was just like, what's happening? What's going on? Are the meatballs ready? So those are the drinks we got. Some kind of tequila thing. Probably should take a picture. And then an old fashioned, which the lady's into. And then I think we went beers after that. Now there is a beer menu. I don't know why they just don't have a drinks menu, but they have a beer menu online. And I'm looking through it to try and jog and jostle the old memory. And not much is coming through. I don't even think these are. Oh, I had the Return Sudden Chill, a fruited sour, because I'm fruity patootie, fresh and fruity, Rudy Tootie, Great Balls of Fire. The Return Sudden Chills, a fruited sour. Actually, no, I'm an idiot. My lady got that because she's into sours. I think I had a taste and it was pretty damn good. I'm trying to see what I had here. I think I had either a Guinness Draft Nitro. No, shut the fuck up, Neal. That ain't it. I think I had a Lord Hobo Juice Lord. That might have been my second beer. Listen, guys, just give your beer a funky name. Funny name, silly name, ridiculous name, absurd name. I'm gonna get it. So that might have been the second beer that I got. I don't see the beer that I got on here. So I don't know what the fuck I got. They had a Downey's Maple Waffle. It's a cider. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know what I got. Alrighty then. Melcher Street? No. I hate IPAs. So let's just rule out the IPAs for a hot minute. I don't think I got a brown ale. Don't get a call. Maybe I did get the stout. Whatever, kid. So we had a grand old time there. There was no wait. I mean, we did have a reservation, but there was no wait. And they sat us at a two top right by the fake fire. Noise is at a pretty moderate level, but it had the feeling of it like you travel back in time and you were in an Irish pub in the 1800s or something like that. You know, it just felt very authentic and genuine, even though it was probably all completely thought out and planned out strategically. But people were great. Waitress was great. Customers looked like they were all having fun. There's a cute little girl who was like, I think she might have never seen a mirror before. That's always fun to watch. So I think our reservation was at 6:30. We think we started to walk home at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then we got in the hot tub. And this is where if I had a Patreon, I would say, check out my Patreon, subscribe to the Patreon for all the deets on what went down in the hot tub. But You have a brain. You do the math. It was awesome. I'll just say that it was fantastic. I mean, the only knock on it, well, first of all, we couldn't find the speaker. So there was like in the description for the place, the spot was our tiny home was 2 Bluetooth speakers. There's one in the main cabin, quote unquote, where the bed is, which we use, that was actually pretty fucking cool too. It was not like, it wasn't your standard kind of modern looking black Bluetooth speaker. This one looked like an old timey like radio from the 50s or something, or a speaker from like the 50s or the 60s, like very retro look, but has Bluetooth. So you switch it on, you switch on the Bluetooth, like almost like not like an old school phone operator, not that. But picture like a master control board with a lot of switches and flips. Flips? No, switches. And then you could flick it up and flick it down. So that's what we did to operate that. So that was cool to hook up and work. But we couldn't find, in the description it said, well, we have an orange speaker in the she shed. So that was really the only time we went to the she shed was to get the speaker. And I'm looking around, I don't see nothing orange. And so I'm looking when we're in the hot tub, because I want the speaker to play some soft jams, some boner jams, and can't find the speaker. I see this other thing. It's called Som King. And I'm like, that right off the bat, and it's purple, like a very calming purple, like a lavender purple, where it's supposed to be like, and so Som King, purple, not orange, and doesn't look like a speaker. It looks like a kettlebell. So I'm like, okay, that's a sound machine. It probably makes all kinds of soothing sounds, but that ain't no speaker. So I was like, shit. So we just ended up playing, I forget. There was like, I just basically Googled hot tub. It also took me, well, no, I think we used her phone the first night. Yeah, the first night we used her phone. Second night I tried to, oh boy. So we had to use the phone, but didn't ruin anything. Like I said, the only knock on this hot tub is because it is so enclosed, and because they did this on purpose. They put it a certain distance from the house so that the house is really blocking the hot tub on the other side, on that fourth side that's open. So you don't get a great view of the sky and the stars. I didn't see many, like there was probably a nice little strip that you could see if you kind of were on the one side of the hot tub. I did not see any stars. I saw one star that I guess might have been a planet that I guess might already be dead. RIP to that star and or planet. So that was a little disappointing, because you figure you winter weekend getaway. It's like it's not a heavily it's not the city, right? It's not heavily populated. There's not a lot of light pollution, whatever. So the stars should be out at night. They're big and bright, deep in the heart of Chatham, New York. So didn't get to see a lot of stars, but it's like, I was seeing stars after what happened. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. So the next night we did, the Som King is the speaker. Because I ended up, I think the next day I texted the owner and I was like, hey, that orange speaker, where is that? We looked in the she shed and all I found was a Som King. She's like, that's the speaker. I'm like, okay, update your listing, please. Because Som King doesn't screen, Samba King, okay, I dig it. That's got some gems, some bumps, some beats. Som King is in like somnia. It's like slumber king, like I'm sleeping. So let's change it. Change the name, please. Yeah. So that was a beautiful evening. Had a lot of fun, and got to bed at a decent hour, all things considered. Demon emoji. Yeah, woke up the next day and ended up getting brunch at Fiesta Cafe, kind of a Mexican Tex-Mex type brunch spot. Not a lot of, it's a small space, so there's probably 4 tables, and then there's like along the window there's a little counter with stools, and so we lucked out, because we were waiting maybe like a hot minute before we're like, oh shit, there's nowhere to sit. Where are we gonna sit? Or I was saying that because me can't relax, homie. So eventually people got up very quickly from the counter where the stools were, so we got that spot. Pretty simple order. We ordered like a breakfast burrito, breakfast tacos. I'm not doing a great job of describing it, so I'm gonna pull up the friggin'. Let's pull it up. Let's pull up the menu. Please have your menu online. There it is. Okay, so I think I had my first ever latte. Like we had already like we so they had in the cabin, the tiny home, Sugar Shack. They had the coffee maker, and then they have pour over coffee with instructions, which I think I might have seen once. Because back when I was married and had a family, we had a French press, which I thought was pretty cool, even though kind of iffy on whether the grounds are going to get into the actual liquid, and then you're picking grounds of your teefers. So it's not that, but pour over coffee, pretty damn cool. Takes a little bit longer, but feels like it might be worth it. Where you have the coffee filter, you have a big ass pot, right? Coffee pot. You heat up the water in a kettle. You place the ground up coffee grounds in the coffee filter, and then you slowly pour when it gets the steaming and whistling Dixie over there on the hot plate. Pick it up, and you start to pour very slowly, not in the middle. You pour slowly around the exterior, ribbit, and then kind of make your way towards the middle, and you let that kind of seep in and then filter down. And then you do it again, dude. Let that seep, pour down, dribble out. And then you do it again, dude. I think it was 3, maybe 4 times. But goddamn, was it good. So I was like, I don't want to do another fucking coffee at this Fiesta Cafe. Like, I want to try a little something diff. And she had ordered a oat milk latte. And I was like, it sounds kind of cool. And maybe you're sitting there in your high tower, on your throne, on your horse, on your throne, in your high tower. And you're saying, hey, you pussy, what are you doing drinking latte? You are a man with a penis that has a shaft, balls, the whole nine. Yeah, but I don't know. I've come to terms with the fact that I'm not a real man. Okay. I still have toxic masculinity, which is great, right? You haven't lost that part. But in terms of like being an actual man that can fight or make things, no, I have none of those skills. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just do an oat milk. Yeah, I'll have one of those. Never had one. Was okay. It was pretty good. I could probably do it again. And so those are ready fairly quickly. And then the food took forever. And you're saying to yourself, all right, well, dude, have you ever been a fucking professional chef cook at a very busy, popular brunch spot? No, I have not. But so I had the Fiesta breakfast burrito. It's a flour tortilla filled with scrambled eggs, black beans, guac, cheese, and sour cream. And I can add my choice of chorizo, bacon, or sausage. I said nay to all 3 of those. Now, 10 years ago, I would be like, hey, can I get all 3 of those in the burrito? And my health rapidly declined. So pass on those 3. I can't pull off that shit anymore. Sorry. I know a lot of people are disappointed listening to that. A lot of people who knew me in my 20s, even my teens, 30s. It's like about 20, 30 years of just abusing my body with all the meats. You know, I was essentially Ron Swanson, but not as cool. And it was phenomenal, dude. I mean, the tortilla was like so soft, like butter. I was verklempt. Scrambled eggs were were perfect. You can't really fuck up black beans, cheese, or sour cream. And the guac was great. Oh, demolished that thing in a record time. And then my queen, she ordered the Fiesta breakfast tacos. And the prices on this shit give me hope for the future. Okay? Now, I know we talked about a $17 fucking burger, and we talked about just insanely priced shit. The breakfast burrito, very decent portion, very big size, $9. The Fiesta breakfast tacos, $8, 800 pesos. The breakfast tacos, 3 corn or flour tortilla tacos topped with your choice of bacon, sausage, or Mexican chorizo. I think she passed on all 3. Scrambled eggs, pico de gallo, chipotle crema, and sliced avocado. I wonder, I probably should have asked for the chipotle crema on my burrito, but I didn't see that, And I don't think we got a side or any shit like that. Maybe some chips. So yeah, that was so good. So good. So good. And so got done with that, went to the store next door, had all these like trinkets and knick-knack patty wax, kitschy nicks, and what do they call it? Oh my God, my ex-wife got called out about that. Tchotchkes. Apparently, little trinkets and knickknacks are not tchotchkes. Got called out by a guy who looked like Santa in the middle of July. Anyway, that kind of store. And I'm sitting and so my lady, she was looking for something for her daughter. So I was like, I guess I should be looking for something for my daughter, a little souvenir of my time away. Even though she didn't know I was there, 2 Christmases. Yeah, so I was like, I guess I should get something for Brie. That'll be a nice little gesture that she will appreciate and remember and keep for the rest of her life. And she'll go to college and she'll look at it before she goes to bed at night. And she goes, I love you, Dad. And I'll be looking down from heaven like, yeah, I love you, kiddo. Nope, I'm not going to die. I'm going to live forever. But I'm walking around this gift shop. And apparently this Chatham is... They have these on banners, by the way. Like if you go to Small Town USA, Main Street USA, Small Town, you have the lamp posts and they always have like the banners, right? They have it on Nassau Street in Princeton, where it's like either the 150th anniversary or land of butter or home of the fried Oreo. I don't know. So this one said voted best shopping in New York or something like that. 2011. I was like, what's going on here? Manhattan exists. And after spending like not that long on Main Street shopping, I was like, okay. I mean, I see the appeal. You almost feel like you're on a movie set, the way everything looks. And it definitely has that cool small town vibe, very old school, this has been around forever type vibe, which is great. But walking around these stores, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could get any of this shit anywhere. So like, why would I don't know. I did, hey, Neil, you mind just turning down your brain for a little bit? It's a little loud in here. So yeah, I did not buy anything in that first spot. They did have some nice glow in the dark stickers that you can put on the wall and the ceiling and whatnot, which I know she would appreciate. But it's like, as soon as I do that, I'm going to get evicted, because I rent. I don't own. So I was like, like there's planets and there's stars and there's dinosaurs. Like she would fucking love it, but I would put it on there and then we'd have to move in like October. So it's like less than a year. I don't know. I just didn't. I was like, maybe I can get it and like not give it to her now, just store it away and then forget about it. And then, oh boy. So I didn't get her that, but there were a bunch of like really nice, funny gifts. But I just didn't. I was like, I couldn't pull the trigger. So we walked down the street a little bit. I forget if we popped into another store. I think we popped into a cheese shop. So what the hell is the name of it? Bimini's? I think it's called Bimini's Cheese Shop, Chatham, New York. Bimi's, B-I-M-I apostrophe S, Bimi's Cheese Shop. Oh boy, I don't think I've ever been in a dedicated cheese shop ever. I really don't think I have. This is breakfast. I don't want breakfast. Come on, bitch. Page not found. Of course. Oh, here we go. All right. So to say they have an abundance of cheese is a slap in the tits to the word abundance. They had cheeses. They had almost every cheese they had. I never knew existed ever. So, really cool to stop in there. And of course, my woman, she really likes the stinky stuff, but we ended up getting 3 cheeses. I'm not seeing the ones that we got, but like Cabra Romero. It's a goat cheese that looks like it's covered in fucking hay. Hey. Challerhawker. You know, they have milk from goats, from cows, from sheep. They got raw cheese. How you doing? Blue cheese, washed rind. Drunken goat, which I think, just entertained by that idea. I picture a drunken goat and I'm like, so it makes me want to buy it. Because I'm stupid. So Gorgonzola Dolce. It looks like kind of marbleized, but it also looks moldy. So that's kind of a turnoff for me, even though I understand that's like a good thing and it'll probably taste out of this world. I don't know. Manchego, aged 12 months, sheep milk. Midnight Moon, which I think we were given a good hard look at, and we ended up buying that. Parmigiano Reggiano Brown Cow, Pecorino Romano, Plymouth Raw Cheddars, Reading Raclette, which I think we got that. Sage Sage Derby, which looks like a woman's varicose veins. There, I said it. And it probably tastes amazing, but I just can't. Nope, I can't put that in my mouth. I put too many varicose veins in my mouth, okay? There's a Shropshire Blue, which I think that's the second one. So, no, that's the third one, right? Because I gave you two others. But there's a Soto Cenere al Tartufo. There's a Willoughby, a Tre Bonnet, and a Taleggio. So the Taleggio, I was trying to describe this, like the stinkiest cheese I ever actually put in my mouth was when I went to the Montreux Comedy Festival, which I believe is on Switzerland near the border of Italy. And there might be a third country in the mix there. I'm forgetting. Apologies. And I remember we were at dinner, kind of I think it was buffet style, but very fancy, very nice. And they had this humongous chunk of cheese that looked like it was under a heat lamp. But when you go into like a gyro place, and they have the spit, big rod sticks, sword thingy sticking up, and they have the meat on that, and they kind of just trim or shave the meat off of that thing for your gyro or your gyro, wherever you might pronounce it. And you would say, I'll have some. And so it looks solid, but it's melted almost. And the guy wearing the white gloves takes this knife, super shiny knife, and just slowly, it's the most sad. I can't believe, I'm sure it's on Instagram and the TikToks and the whatnot. The accounts like highly satisfying videos, 4.2 million subscribers. But he takes the sharp knife, not the dull one, although he probably could do a dull one too with this fucking cheese. Very shiny, and slowly scrapes a layer of cheese off it onto your plate. And it's just like, oh my God, please do that to my entire body. Please. I'm so lonely. But at the time, it was amazing. It was so good. And I think that, the Taleggio looks like it probably is not that, but it looks similar to what we had there in Montreux, where I also had my first cup, glass, what have you, of hot wine. I will not be doing that again. Yikes. Wolf. So yeah, we picked up 3 nice cheeses. The plan was we were going to go back to the Sugar Shack and enjoy our cheese, have a little cheese party with some champagne, because I got some Veuve Clicquot, the Verve Click, the VC, the venture capital, champagne. And so that was the plan. Like, we'll go back, we'll have some cheese and some champagne. It'll be great. We didn't, spoiler alert. So we saved it, and we're going to bring it to my buddy's place this weekend. We're just going to meet my first friends for the first time. It's the first time her meeting my friends. So curious to see how this weekend plans out. And so we didn't do it. So we're saving the cheese for that. So the reviews on that coming next week, or probably 2025, 2026, whenever I do my next episode. So skipped that. But we walked down a little bit more to see, like, let's just check it out. There's like a clothing store that's like kind of going out of business that like was unfortunate. It was like, best shopping, in New York, what about this? And did we walk by? We walked by a couple of shops that we just were like tempted but didn't go into. And then we walked into this one, I think it was like probably the last shop on the block, and walked in and was like, and again, a lot of it, I mean, I think that's the key, right? If you're that kind of gift shop owner, is to be like, let's put out the gifts that we know are popular nationwide, globally, that were like, people want this because it's probably not something they'd ever known or seen about, like online or on TV and the movies. Like, it's just stuff you have never seen before. But like every gift shop has it. Every little small town gift shop has it. But then they sprinkle in like little things that are Chatham, New York type things. Like, here's a map. Like, oh, cool. So we go in there, and I was looking, I'm like, oh, interesting. I found a solar powered rainbow maker. Holler at your boy. Okay. I make a rainbow in these hoes. Yeah. Solar powered rainbow maker. I was like, oh my God. It's like as if the clouds parted and the sun shone down on it, and God pointed his finger and said, hey, doofus, this one's for you. So I was like, oh, my daughter, in case you didn't know, loves fucking rainbows. And she draws. I mean, when I pick her up from school, and this will happen tomorrow, pick her up, and I'm supposed to look in her backpack every night to make sure everything's copacetic. You just don't get it. I got to keep it copacetic. And every time I open that damn backpack, just a cacophony, a cornucopia of friggin' drawings spill out of it. It's like her backpack's all drawings. And so one trend, one kind of signature thing that she does with her drawings, there's always a rainbow and there's always a heart, and there's probably a cat. So I was like, this is perfect. She friggin' loves rainbows. I remember her being like, oh my God, a rainbow. And I was like the literally the most minimum you can have of a rainbow. She was pointing to it. And I was like, oh, it's amazing. It's so beautiful. I'm like they're supposed to go all the way. So I was like, oh, I'm going to get this. She's going to friggin' love it. And I ended up getting it. We're going to Tarantino this shit. Fast forward to when I gave it to her, because I forgot to give her to her on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I think I forgot. Maybe not. I give it to her and I said, hey, I was away this past weekend. There was a hot tub. No, subscribe to my Patreon. I saw this and I thought you would really like it. And so we open up and she goes, what is it? You know, because that's what she says for everything that she opens. And I was like, it's a rainbow maker. She was like, oh, and just turned and walked away. Didn't even like, hey, you're not, I don't think you heard me. Rainbow maker. You know, the thing that you're obsessed with, that you draw on every single piece of paper known to man. This shit can make it. Not interested. Nope. And then I ended up setting it up over the weekend. I placed it like right in front of the glass door, and I guess I put it in the wrong spot, because it was like, oh look, there's a rainbow, and it's very small and it's way on that wall. And so when I called her out, I was like, oh Bree, look, I'm trying to make a big deal of it. Oh look, you know, I'm calling to her. She comes out. She goes, what am I looking at? And I was like, freaking rainbow, dude. The thing you're obsessed with. And she saw it and she's like, oh, okay. And then just went right back in the room. Right in the back of my room. But then I was like, what's going on here? It feels like this feels like it could fucking crank out all kinds of rainbows. So I go over, and of course I had placed it like kind of in the shadowy part of the table. So I moved it literally like half an inch to the left in the sunny part of our table. And it was just rainbows everywhere. And I was just like, she doesn't give a shit. It's not, I don't, whatever. So, you know, swing and a miss, but that's life, right? So, we got our cheese, we got our little trinkets, and we went down the street to Chatham Brewing. And we're like, oh, let's just stop in for a drink or two. And then, you know, we'll have a drink here to kind of like just, you know, get all the post-shopping nerves out of our system. And then, you know, just to say that we tried it, because we're not sure where we're going for dinner. We didn't think we were going to go to dinner there. We thought we were going to dinner somewhere else. So we're like, we'll pop in for a drink, and then we'll go home with the cheese, with the champagne, and then we'll come back out for dinner. And then we're looking at the menu, and they have a pretty decent menu. So I was like, all right, I guess the move here, even though it's 3 in the afternoon. It was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, not anywhere close to supper time. And so we're like, let's just have dinner here. We'll have an early dinner here, and then maybe we'll have the cheese later. Hot tub cheese. You got your mind? But the food was good. We obviously had some drinks first. We had 2 flights. Kicked things off with 2 flights. Flight, for those of you who are unaware, there's like 4 little. It's like a paddle. Usually it's a wooden paddle. 4 little indentations or placeholders for 4 smallish cups of beer. So not like a shot's worth, but not a full pint. It's bigger than a shot, smaller than a pint. So we did that. Let me see if I can. Hopefully their beers menu is up to date. Nope, nothing. Okay, cool. It's like, how is this possible? I feel like every small business website I go to, shit's always broken as fuck. It blows my goddamn mind. And it's just we're not gonna do it, huh? Oh, here it is. So, and we did lights and darks, lights versus darks. On the dark side, the Empire side, Mr. Vader's side, were the darks. We're the darks, which I guess if you live in the 50s or 60s might be racist. Vanilla porter. Their award-winning porter with a vanilla addiction. I mean, I do have an addiction, and I'm getting help. I'm seeking, and I'm getting help. Our award-winning porter with a vanilla addition makes it even more delish. 5.5% ABV, 31 IBU. Again, no clue what IBUs mean, but I think the higher means the more potent. I don't know. But wouldn't that be ABV? Or the bolder the taste, stronger the taste, maybe? So that one was pretty good. I remember drinking that and being like, oh, it was the first one I had. And I was like, oh my God, that's the best one. And I was like, well, pump your brakes, because it didn't actually pan out that way. Also had a Northern Comfort Imperial Stout. This is a rich stout with cold brew coffee and chocolate. I feel like that one was a front runner at first. And maybe that one petered out towards the end once we had everything in the system. The Wintermarzen, a German-style lager balanced with hops and malt. That's a 5.5% ABV, 28 IBU. The Northern Comfort Imperial Stout was 8% ABV. Whoa, smack me silly, 22 IBU. And then, so that was and I guess the All Hail. Yeah, the All Hail Winter Ale, a winter classic with graham cracker, chocolate, and vanilla. Fuck yeah, dude. 6% ABV, 13 IBU. And I had to say, the first time that I drank it, I was like, where the crackers at? Dude, I'm in rural New York. Where the crackers at? So I didn't really taste the graham cracker or the chocolate or the vanilla, but I can't stress this enough. I don't think I have any taste buds. I think that they were burned off at some point. I'm not sure. So that was the dark side. The Jedi side, the lighter side, had the lights, right? So I'm going to look here. Ooh, do we have that? Maybe we did. No, we didn't have that. All right. There's a blood orange, and every time I see this word, I think it's goose. It's not. It's gose. Gose. G-O-S-E, gose. Blood orange gose, German-style sour wheat, a simple sour blood orange puree, 5.5 ABV, 8 IBU. So that one, I remember being pretty decent. I like that one. There was a raspberry wheat next to that. This is a wheat ale. Summer fruit adds a subtle sweetness with only a mild bitterness from the Hallertau hops. I remember that one being pretty good. Again, I can feel you judging. Take off the white wig. Let loose for a little bit. And then I don't even know what the next two were. I think it was the Nor'easter IPA, juicy, fruity, hazy, the hallmarks of today's Northeast IPAs, an unfiltered IPA, 6.5 ABV, 57 IBU. The current batch pours like a golden cloud with plenty of that dry hop character you're seeking. I didn't even know I was looking for it. Nor'easter IPA. And again, I'm not an IPA guy. That wasn't so bad. And then I think it was either the 8-barrel Imperial Ale, which was 8% ABV, 69 IBU. Nice. Righteously balanced. Oh, I remember making fun of that. How the fuck with a straight face and like I know that they're like some of these have a nice little tinge of humor. Or they're trying to be a little light with it. I get it. You cannot describe a fucking beer as righteously balanced. You can't describe anything like that. Righteously balanced? Yuck. This strong ale boasts a huge hop presence with an enormous malt backbone. Again, it's a beer. It's not a actual living, breathing organism with a skeletal system. Okay. This mahogany beauty is deceptively potent. So I was like, Jesus, get a load of this fucking beer. You're already on my shit list, but maybe you can turn around. So there's 8-barrel, and then I think it might have been HopSpot. It was either HopSpot or Space Haze, and I don't think we had the Space Haze. So the HopSpot was it says DIPA, Dupalipa. 8.5 ABV, 42 IBU, hazy DIPA with Nelson and Mosaic hops. So it was either that or Space Haze, which is 6.5 ABV, 40 IBU, a true hazy IPA loaded with Nelson, Mosaic, and Citra hops. Okay. Or was it the cider? I don't think we had a cider in the mix, did we? Whoa. So we did some rankings. Don't remember the rankings, but I do remember most of them being fairly good. Again, IPAs taste like someone put out their cigarette in it. I don't know how to get around that. So I think I was more of a fan of the Gose, the wheat, the stout, the winter ale, basically anything that wasn't an IPA, I was like okay with. And boy, did those rankings, I mean, like, it should have been televised because there were a lot of like ups and downs, left and rights, curveballs galore, where it's like, this is the winner. And then like 3-4 drinks later, you're like, whoa, I think that's in last place. So it's a fun little activity. And then I switched to the Fizz, which I think is a seltzer, hard seltzer. Sue me. And then we ended up getting some food after a few drinks. Oh, I don't even know. Is that even on here? God damn. I gotta look here. I don't think they would have that online. But there were 2 drinks, and I cannot remember the names of them, but it's from Hudson River Valley Brewing, I think is the name of the company. Valley is spelled with a V? What? Company. Valley Brewery. Yeah, can I just go to your website? Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to get by now. Beer ordering. All right. Do they even have it on here? Probably not. Probably scared because they know it fucking sucks. These 2 drinks, and maybe I'm doing Hudson Valley Brewery wrong, but they're cocktails, right? They're both clear, both cocktails. I think one is gin. The other has, fuck if I know, vodka or tequila or something. It was clear. Gin and maybe it's another clear brandy. No. It was something that I've never had before. I don't think. But a basil something and another. I mean, fuck that I can't remember these 2 drinks because I want everyone to steer clear. I need to give a APB, an all points bulletin on this motherfucking shit because that's how bad it is. Basil's crunch, no. Basil mint, maybe. And then anyway, she couldn't even. Took 1 sip and was like, "I'm out." She tapped out, m'lady. And I was like, no. I don't know if it's because I hate myself or what, but I'm gonna get through this. So I just decided to try and pound it like a mind eraser, and boy, did that almost backfire multiple times. But I finished it, and it was gross because I was like, that's not me. I don't leave anyone behind. No child left behind. No soldiers left behind. No drinks left behind. So I finished it, and it was gross. Second grossest drink I've ever had in my life. Top 3. I'll say that. And and she used to be a bartender, so she's like, this is fucking awful. She's a little bit I don't want to say pickier because it has a negative connotation, a little more selective than I am. So yeah, she just like, nope. Should we send it back? And I was just like, I guess I could drink it after I pound this, because we're on vacation. So yeah, but I had some pea fizzes. I think we had some of the other beers that we hadn't tried via the flight. Some that we did, and then we ordered some grub, dude. We almost pulled the trigger on the Bavarian soft pretzel. Share size soft pretzel, house cheddar cheese sauce, semi-green mustard. I saw this thing come out to someone else who ordered it. It is the largest Bavarian soft pretzel I've ever seen in my life. So definitely for 2 people or for 1 Neal Lynch. Almost pulled the trigger on that, but didn't. And instead opted for cauliflower wings, Korean Brussels, and poutine, which the first time I had poutine was a few years ago. And it was from like Buffalo Wild Wings, I think. No. It was somewhere near Fairfield. It was a restaurant, and it was pretty fucking good. These, even though I didn't touch them really at all until like kind of towards the end of the meal, was not looked kindly upon by the lady. I didn't mind it too much. But I think we probably should have added a fried egg, bacon, pulled pork, chili. Like we should have probably added a little something extra into the mix there. And I don't know that we did. So maybe that was the missing ingredient there. But I didn't think it was too bad. Hand-cut fries, melted cheese curds, shallot gravy. Interesting to see shallot in the mix there. The Korean Brussels were fantastic. Flash fried Brussels, cilantro, peanut pesto, woo, Korean barbecue drizzle, woo, sesame seeds, woo. I think if you were to pair the Korean Brussels from this joint with the gochujang meatballs from People's Pub, you'd have yourself quite the goddamn evening. I mean, you can eat it anytime, really, but I think your taste buds are gonna it's gonna be a goddamn orgy. So Korean Brussels are good, and even the cauliflower wings are good. And I know, okay, put down the gavel, please. Toss in your choice of any wing sauce. I don't know. I think we went. I don't even know what we went with that one. Was it buffalo? Was it? I think it might have been buffalo, or was it? I can't remember, but it was good. Like not like you're eating wings per se, more like you're eating not nugs, boneless wings. Which again, please discard your black robe. Okay, court's not in session. So yeah, wings, Brussels, poutine, very good. Do highly recommend. We went just straight apps up in this bitch for that, huh? No way. It says flip over, click to flip over, and you can't flip it over. And then my lady suggested, she was like, hey, we actually took a picture. We don't take many pictures, so that was like a big moment for me. So I was like, she actually wants to take it. She actually wants to know. She actually wants to document and record this moment. And oh my God. She's like, why don't you get, because our first date, we went to the beer festival. We actually, I guess you get the glass as a souvenir. It's part of the price of admission, the ticket. Here, you have to buy it. It's not part of your dinner. Duh. So she was like, hey, get the tasting glass, from the flights. They sell them. They're right in that case right there. I think they sell them. Go and ask. So you can keep it. So you can, remember this day, whatever. And so we had this 19-year-old waitress who was just all smiles, really light and like just down to earth and friendly and warm, and like interacted with us and thought we were funny. And so it was just like great the entire time. Great. And then I go to get the tasting glass. I was like, hey, do you think I could get like the small tasting glass that you use for the flight? Like, how much is that? And so the owner comes over and or the manager comes over and she's like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, I just want like, I think you see the small tasting glass, you put it in the flight. It's in that case there. Can I buy one? She's like, oh. And like all of a sudden it becomes a fucking fire drill. Like she's just pulling this person in. She's asking questions left and right. And I'm just like, I don't want, shouldn't be like this. Like, I don't want this to be a huge fucking production, a huge deal. They are on sale. I think so. They look like they're for sale, and so they scrambled to find it. And then the manager, like someone, like it was like a passing the baton in a fucking 4-man relay. Like she's running and grabs the tasting glass from someone else who has been sprinting with it, and then brought it to our 19-year-old waitress who presented to me. And it was like everything. It was like Two-Face, not Two-Face. who's that character in the Lego movie? It was like the bad cop, good cop in one Lego figure, where it's like he spins his head and he's the good cop. He spins his head and the bad cop. It felt like that's who I was dealing with. Like we had the good cop at our table when it was me and the lady, but then me by myself at the bar trying to buy a tasting glass, it was the bad cop because it was like a completely different person. It was like no smile. I was like, thank you. And like, no, you're welcome. No anything. I was just like, okay. The more I think about it, and I think I just came to this realization now, is I put down my card and I was like, I want to pay. I would like to pay, please, for both of us, for the whole thing, the whole shebang. So I'm going to pay. And then my lady was like, don't tip. I'm going to put down the tip in cash because I think, everyone prefers that, right? So I was like, okay. And then, moronic, idiotic, jerk face me decided like, oh, I'm going to make a joke out of this. And I'm going to do like a little prank on this waitress. And so she comes over and she's like, all set. And I was like, yeah, we're all set. I'm giving you a $0 tip. She was like, what? And like, she took it to heart. Like it was like a knife through the friggin' gut, through the belly butt. So, and then quickly my lady was like, oh no, we're tipping in cash. I have your tip. It's right here. It's okay. She's like, oh. So I think that's probably what set her over the edge. I triggered her. It's like, I was just joking. Like I just thought it would be funny because we were having so much fun. You would think, oh, big tip. And then I'm like, hey, you're getting it. How much tip you're going to get? Do you know how much tip you're going to get? And she's like, what? And I'm like, 0. And she's like, oh shit, what did I do? So I think I might have gone over the line there. Apologies. That's what I do. Fuck up. And then I apologize. It's kind of my thing. So we were done with dinner. I want to say like before 6. It really was like we got there at like 3-ish, and I think we were done at 5, maybe 5:30. Maybe we got there at 2:30. So it was about 3 hours. A lot of drinks, a lot of food, a lot of great conversation. And so we went back to the Sugar Shack, and then I think it was maybe playing more games, maybe a little bit of this, a little bit of that, along with hot tub. And this time I found out, okay, the Som King is the speaker. Grab that thing, pull it over, and it was a much nice listening experience. I pulled up I'm filming with my friggin' phone, you fool. So I can't pull it up on my phone right now, but you got to think about my mental state at that point, right? I think I just not Googled, in Spotify. Well, first of all, I've said this before. I did not sign up for the premium Spotify. Okay. I didn't. I was like, I don't think this is worth $10 a month. I really don't. And so we would always get ads. And then my 5-year-old daughter is calling me out and being like, why are there ads? There are no ads on Mommy's. And I was like, well, Mommy probably pays for it. And she's like, what? Well, why don't you pay for it? I was like, I don't want another subscription. It's like, it feels like I already have too many subscriptions and like this is over the top. We're still getting it's just ads, blah, blah, blah. She's like, just pay for it. Like, all right, Jesus. So what does it take for me to sign up for something? Well, a lady in a hot tub. So there's your answer. You want me to subscribe? Lady in the hot tub. Do I want you to subscribe to my Patreon? Yeah, lady in a hot tub. So the speaker was good. I decided to buy the premium plan for Spotify on my phone, and it took me, no lie, half an hour? What the fuck? Spotify relentlessly pounds me in the face, in the drums. With premium is this. Every commercial break, they have a promo for the premium plan. It's just everywhere I go in the app, everywhere I go on the website, everywhere I go with Spotify, it's like premium. Wouldn't you think that they would just make it so fucking easy to just, you click literally a button and then a window pops up, says, hey man, you sure? And then you just hit okay. And then you can even put up a second window. For real though, we're going to charge you this amount of money per month. Okay. Cancel anytime. This is what's happening. Are you cool with that? That's all they had to do. Instead, granted, I imbibed. I was intoxicated. And, but fuck, man, it was impossible. If you're going to assault me with that shit, at least make it easy for me to sign up. So I couldn't figure it out for the longest fucking time. And you want to talk about a mood killer. That is it, homie. But eventually I got the premium plan going. I just put in hot tub in the search bar. And lo and behold, would you believe it? There are a shit ton of playlists on Spotify that have hot tub in the title. I think the first one I put on was kind of tough because I think it was this one. It's called Chill, maybe? Is this it? Let's see if I can play a little bit of it. Stronger, more painful erections are possible. No. I mean, what are the odds that part of the podcast that I was listening to would say that? I would be on that part of the podcast. The podcast is an hour long, hour and 15 minutes long. That is literally the only part that's like that. And that was queued up. Okay, so that one's pretty good. Tears for Fears, Everyone Wants to Rule the World, right? Chill, but not like chill to the point of holy fuck, I'm falling asleep. Like I'm gonna die in this hot tub. I'm gonna fall asleep in this hot tub and straight up drown. So I think the first playlist I put on was like way too like, okay, we didn't take Xanax, but we are on Xanax right now. We're on audio Xanax. And we're kind of like, nodding off. So I was like, well, we can't, this would be a fucking awful way to die. So I put on a different playlist and I think it was much better. Let me see. I gotta find it. Come on now. Hot tub chilling, hot tub vibes. So I think I first put on hot tub chilling or hot tub music - chill. And then I think I did hot tub vibes. Ooh, so that was pretty cool for a little bit, but then it was like, still, this might be a little too chill, dude. And then I think we might have put on the best hot tub music. I think there was a little more. It wasn't from these like random indie bands that are really popping in Portland. You know what I'm saying? So I gave a little. I'm into massaging, and so I delivered the massage of the century. So good that now this is not in the hot tub. This was in our quarters, our slumber chamber where we duermo. Did you give a massage in there with the new oil I got? It's fucking, oh man, so good. No, I'm not gonna say that word. Massage oil made with a mesmerizing blend of almond, jojoba, and lavender. Ooh, boy. And it's in a purple bottle with gold, not macrame. What is that called? Fabergé. Nope. Doily. So it's good. It's, we both fell asleep. I think it's a combination of like heavily depressing and sedating your brain mixed with chill vibe music, chill wave synth, and then with this very calming lavender type oil. And it just knocked us both out. Knocked us right out. Next morning. So that was Sunday, correct? We're now on Monday, President's Day. And this is the day I'm like, kind of like, whoa, we could really strike out on this day. Luckily and unluckily, it was a 10 a.m. checkout, which I felt like was a bit early. The night before, I text the owner and I'm like, hey, I think I know the answer. I know you're pretty adamant in the description, in the listing about checking out at 10, but I thought it would be worth a shot. Can we have a later checkout, like an hour later, 11 o'clock? She's like, and she's like, hard no. And I was like, okay. We go to sleep and we get up, thinking that we have the checkout at 10 a.m. We get up, like 8, I think, and start packing, get everything ready. And then, of course, I get a message from the owner saying, the cleaning crew is delayed or something. And yes, you can check out at 11. So I was like, cool. We took our sweet ass time, had some more of that pour over coffee. So good. And, just kind of hung out in the tiny home and then ended up taking a little drive because it was on the way back. This other place that the owner had recommended for brunch, like she had recommended a couple places on Sunday morning. And I was like, oh, thank you for the recommendations. We're going to go to Fiesta Cafe. And I feel like she was almost like offended, like, excuse me? Fiesta Cafe? So one of the places she suggested Sunday morning was Bartlett House. I feel like I'm definitely fucking that up. It's in Ghent, New York. So it's a 5-minute drive south, which is on our way. It's on the road that we take to get out of Dodge. So the Bartlett House is a historic railroad hotel in Ghent, New York, built in 1870 by Ebenezer Bartlett, the 3-story Italianate. I feel like I didn't say that right. Italianate style brick building is on a raised basement. In 2016, the Bartlett House was restored and now houses a kitchen, bakery, and cafe. And wow, one of the best brunches I've ever had in my fucking life, dude. Very confusing when you walk in because it looks like a sit-down restaurant. It's got like the bakery on one side, like the glass and the shields and the whatnot. And then on the other side, it's like there's a divider. And then on the other side, there's all these tables where it looks like a restaurant where a server might be. Or, and you walk in, so you're kind of expecting a hostess or a host. There is no host or hostess. There are no servers. And it looks like every table is full. So I'm like, fuck. So I guess I was like, okay, do we just order? And do we eat standing up? Do we eat in the car? So wasn't sure exactly what was going on, but ended up, let's see what I ordered here. I don't want to fuck this up, So I want to make sure that I got this fucking shit right. Got it down pat, dude. Everything sounded good. I'll put it out there right now. My partner in crime. I almost got that one. Oh, I should wait to get to the side, right? I should do the main orders and then get to the side. I can't wait. I got to tell you about this fucking hash brown, dude. It's called the Big Hash Brown. Russet potatoes, sea salt. Kind of looks like a hash brown you would get at McDonald's, but way bigger and way better. I want to say it was the size of my head. And again, nice and crispy, crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. So damn good. So yeah, I was trying my best not to just like grab it and shove it all on my face. I had the breakfast quesadilla, and I know what you're saying. You have a problem. And I know what I'm saying. No, I don't. Breakfast quesadilla. Twice cooked pinto beans. Not once, dude. Twice. Avocado, queso, Osaka. Nope. Scrambled farm egg, jalapeno, and tomato salsa. Now, the breakfast burrito at Fiesta Cafe, one of the best breakfast burritos I've ever had, if not the best. The breakfast quesadilla, neck and neck, dude. I think it's either tied or slightly better than the breakfast burrito. Definitely the best breakfast quesadilla I've ever had. So, yeah, it was a nice big portion. Again, the tortilla was like, I think that's what's so overlooked a lot of the time at a lot of pubs, bars, most restaurants, if not all restaurants, is the quesadilla is either so fucking hard. Like, I don't know that I like the crackly, really fragile tortilla. I think I like the nice, warm, soft tortilla. I don't know. But, I'm not very likable. So why would you ever like what I like? And then my woman, it's not even on here, is it? Is it part of the bakery? We got hot cocoa. Do you know what the last time I had hot cocoa? I could be lying about this, and I'm probably very wrong. I want to say it was at a tailgate at Giant Stadium in 2005 or 2006, where it was a December game. I think it was near Christmas. Someone was wearing a Winnie the Pooh outfit. It might have been the Giants-Chiefs game, 2005, when Tiki surpassed 2,000 yards rushing, I think. And it was like Larry Johnson was also in the mix. We tailgated and pre-gamed with hot cocoa and peppermint schnapps. I mean, do yourself a fucking favor. My God. So no booze in this hot cocoa, but oh man, was it so fucking good. I don't think this is here. She had I don't know what it's officially called. I think it's like the Bartlett. It might be called that. Oh, is this it? No, dude. All right, you know what I mean? This is a very easy fix, Neil. Jesus. It was the Lure. Yes, the Lure breakfast sandwich. I passed by that thing 1,000 times and there's even a picture. It's right there. Local smoked salmon, fried farm egg, capers, crimes and cons, shaved red onion, cream cheese on a house-made English muffin. She subbed it out and tried the new seeded bagel multigrain sourdough roll. So it wasn't even a bagel. Wow. For some reason I thought it was an everything bagel. That was stupid because they even made a joke about the sourdough because she has sourdough that she's been doing since the pandemic. That was like everyone's thing, right? We're all going to get into making sourdough. And so she got into that, named it Tiffany. I made a joke like, do you think this Do you think that's have any relation to Tiffany? Stupid joke. That's all I do. That's kind of my wheelhouse. Stupid dad jokes. So she opted, instead of the English muffin or munchkin, she did the seeded multigrain sourdough roll, which contains poppy, papita, sunflower seed, chia, and hemp. God damn. It looked really good. And she had to stop herself because it's a healthy portion. It's a pretty big portion. So she stopped herself. And I think she only ate half and saved the rest for later. And I ended up having a bite when we got back. And I was like, Ariel. So we drove home from there, stopped for some gas and drove home. So much traffic. Who would have thunk? President's Day? What? So there's a ton of traffic. I think we left the Bartlett house at 12 or 1. And we didn't get back to like 5, I think. Something like that. Just a ton of traffic, ton of delays. Standstill at one point. You gotta love the people that are making it's like this. The people that when are going like 80 or 90 or 100 and like weaving in and out of traffic, those are the same people that when there's a standstill are like still trying to weave, bob and weave. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You can't no bobbing and weaving when there's a standstill, guy. Ugh. So, yeah, that was a fun ride home. I mean, not as much conversation, try to relive the highlights and whatnot, but I think we were both spent, So, there was a lot of like contemplation, I think, on my end, just like wandering off and daydreaming, or I don't know, going to the rip zone, as my mom and sister call it. That's because whenever my dad would often like look off, have that look, when he looks off in the distance and just gets lost, like that's where I was at. We ended up going to pick up her daughter at her ex's place, and then going home and playing Off Topic, the three of us, which I thought was really cool. And I thought, with a tween, you never know what you're going to get. So the whole Forrest Gump situation, like with a tween, it's like they say yes or they say don't care, which means yes. And so then you start to play and you're like, they're probably going to be out. Like I underestimated her Super Bowl Sunday when we had our watch party game. And also when we had our other game, like, I just thought, she's going to play for 5 minutes and then be like, no, I much more prefer Minecraft. Thank you. But she played with us for a couple hours. We played, it's supposed to last 5 rounds. I think we played 15 rounds. So yeah, tons of fun, man. Off Topic, check it out. So that was a bowl of monkeys. And then we had a bunch of snacks as well. Truly was Fat Kid Day. And I'm so glad that I've found someone who embraces Fat Kid Day as I do. Her inner fat kid is named Shaniqua. My inner fat kid name is Eugene. And together we are Uniqua. So we ate a bunch of snacks, French, all the snacks that we brought that we didn't eat and then we brought back. French onion dip, salsa, guac, chips, dips, popcorn. Oh, so good. I couldn't stop. It was tough to stop. And we ended up watching Bob's Burgers, a ton of Bob's Burgers. Can't even tell you how many entire season, maybe more, of Bob's Burgers. And it's like, I never was a Bob's Burgers guy, not really into watching it that much, but god damn, I enjoy it, especially when I'm hungover. It's like, this is the perfect hungover show. And I'm not used to, I forget that, because Bob's Burgers usually airs Sunday nights on Fox Animation Domination when they have the animated lineup where it's like Family Guy, Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, and then whatever fourth show they're trying to get up and running that they put in the middle there, which usually airs from like 7 to 9, maybe 7 to 8, right? But there's a lot of adult shit in Bob's Burgers that I never really picked up on. I just thought it was really quirky, not Zoe Saldana, Zoe Deschanel type quirk. But no, it's got some adult themed humor as well. So I enjoyed it a lot, laughed out loud. But we fell asleep on the couch. So cute, right? I know. You're petting your screen right now. You're hugging your phone, your computer. I get it. It's a beautiful thing. It has to be one of the best weekends of my life, hands down. Definitely the best President's Day weekend I've ever had. Not that I remember many. So I'm very happy that we were able to do that and pull that off. And I think it brought us closer together. The one thing that did scare me though, on Sunday, so day 2, right? So they got there for like very late in day 1. Day 2, my girl says, "Hey, you left your door open." And I was like, "Huh? Like my apartment door? The outer door of my apartment building? What door?" She's like, "The door to your car. You know, my ex went over there to take care of the cat, and he said that your door was open." And I was like, "Well, like it was just like it was closed, but not completely closed. Like it was ajar." Is how I think he meant ajar. And she's like, "No, he said the door was wide open." And I was like, "Oh my fucking God." But no, he said nothing was missing, and he closed it for me. Thank you. And yeah, so everything was still there. Nothing got stolen. She later revealed to me that she found out that she left her back door unlocked. I was like, you know, kudos to your neighborhood. I think their rating went up. They had an opportunity to completely rob us both blind, and they passed. So thank you to that hood. But yeah, so left the door completely wide open, which I mean, we did a lot of at our house, like when I was with my ex at our house in Wayne, so many goddamn times. You know, I think the one time left the sliding glass door open all day. Another time overnight left 1, 2, 3, 4 doors, including the rear gate open on our car. The only car that we had at the time. Left the barn doors to the basement open one night. So it was just like, we just, and you know, same thing, nothing happened. I think we, at that point, we did have neighbors that were like, "Hey, just so you know, did you know it's been like that for 18 hours? That didn't happen in this case. So if like if her ex didn't go over there, who knows if the neighbors would have like owned up and been like, but that's just not, I don't know how neighbors work anymore, I guess. I'll briefly go over everything since then. I had to, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to save that because that's a little too much. I don't want to speed through this. There's a lot of gold up in here. So, yeah, we didn't get the Giants. We didn't get the Mets. We didn't get to Blackberry. Very good movie. I saw last night. Didn't get the Foundation on Apple TV. Now into season 2. So that's what you can look forward to, right? To be continued. Just put that at the bottom in the black Back to the Future font with the tire marks that are on fire. Okay? Because that's what's happening right here, right now. Gonna hopefully get to the Giants, maybe post scouting combine to go over all that bullshit. And then the Metros, Kodai Senga's hurt, so whatever. And that's Mets talk. So yeah, that's all stuff you can look forward to in addition to another week in life. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Adios, muchachos.